Temperatures aren't the only thing rising this spring. Hi, my name is Scott Jacobs with Jacobs & Company Real Estate. And look, today we're talking about interest rates. We have dealt with truly historic lows, right? You know, when the pandemic came, we saw interest rates in the 2s, and then we spent some time in the 3s, and then recently we spent some time in the 4s. As I'm talking to you today, April 7th, 2022, an interest rate today on a traditional 30-year fixed rate mortgage may look like 5%. That is just ever so slightly past pre-pandemic level. What does that mean for you? It means it's going to cost you more on a monthly basis is what it really means. If you've been shopping for a home thinking that you're going to have a 4.25%, 4.5% interest rate, and now it's looking like 5%, that is going to drastically reduce the disposable income that you have on a monthly basis. That's your fun money, right? Or just your grocery money, or maybe the increased gas money that you're going to now need because you're paying more at the pump. The Fed came out yesterday, okay? They came out earlier in 2022 and said that they're going to not raise it once, twice, but at least 3 times in 2022. The first increase had already happened. All people were predicting 1/2 of a basis point, which would be essentially a 0.5 point bump. The Fed curtailed that down to 0.25%, okay? However, the Fed seems like they are wanting to raise the rates quickly to fend off inflation. In this case, they're touting 0.5 point, okay, where they did previously for the first bump, and they backed off at the last minute, did only 0.25 point. I am predicting that they'll hold true, that this next rate increase will happen much sooner than most people reasonably anticipate. It will look like 0.5 point, and that will put us well into the 5s. While there's still very little to no inventory out there in the marketplace, and while certainly housing is one of, those Maslow's hierarchy, right? You need shelter. So either you're going to rent it or you're going to buy it. And once again, we discussed in these videos how rental rates jumped almost 20% alone last year. With rapidly rising inflation, they're going to continue to be double digits again this year. So you run the cost benefit analysis of, is it cheaper to own versus rent? I still think even with rates increasing, at 5 or above 5, it may in very many cases still be cheaper for you to own than it is to rent. If the buyer has to pay more on a monthly basis, at a certain point, a buyer is going to go ahead and factor that in. And at some point, sellers, this is going to mean that you have to adjust your price downward to meet the demand. If you're a buyer that's been running around in this market and you've been shopping, you've been shopping in the 3s, you've been shopping in the 4s, you just feel like you hit a brick wall, when you hit 5%. 5%, yes, 5%, but it's not going to get any cheaper. It is time for you to find something and to move on it quickly, because these rates are only going to continue to go higher. They are not going to adjust downward. The Fed has said that, and this is going to happen quickly. If I'm a buyer in this market, I am being very proactive. Look, spring break for many people is right around the corner. Maybe this is your opportunity to work with your agent, all right, while everybody else is out of town, going on vacations, doing family-related activities for spring break. This might be your best opportunity to snag a deal, right? While everybody else is out of town and everybody else is visiting family and away for the holiday. Maybe this is your opportunity to not have to compete against as many people and just to find that opportunity that you've been looking for. So much time, energy, and effort goes in on behalf of many real estate professionals into preparing for a listing presentation. Very few people put any emphasis whatsoever on giving the buyer the same latitude, right? And having a actual buyer consultation. And we do this all the time. We do it free of charge with no obligation whatsoever, just so that you as a buyer, very inquisitive, right, can leave with all of your answers, right? So that you can go forward into this market confident. We would love to hear from you. Please give us a call at the office at 703 area code 594-3800. We'd love to talk to you. Thank you.